Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a budget prep 1 week before we get paid. And I usually tend to do this before we get paid because I just want to make sure everything's laid out and everything for us. I will be creating our budget, but I do make the final changes to that budget, which will be next Friday when my husband gets paid. I make the final changes on that budget on Thursday because my husband finds out how much he gets paid on Wednesday. So kind of depends on how much he gets paid. Sometimes it's less than we expected, sometimes it's more. So sometimes we'll change up the numbers that we have. Most of the time it has to do with like our savings. So let me go ahead and show you guys how I budget prep in my spreadsheet budget. I was just over here, my yearly overview, just kind of taking a look at what I have going on because this is already prepped ahead for me technically until the end of the year. I'm just going to be prepping our biweekly paycheck budget for the month of September. So let me go ahead and just create my new budget. I did create a whole different sheet, the biweekly paycheck budget, because in the month copy that I have over here, I had the notes originally down here, but I did make some changes and decided to put it here. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this, or not rename it, I'm going to duplicate it, and then, so it says copy, let me rename that to September, and then I'm going to move it all the way over here at the beginning because that's just how I like it. So the beginning of the month is towards the right, and then I like to have the most current one closer to the front over here. So, oh, too much. Okay. So I like to have September there, and then I'm also, that's not what I wanted. What in the world? Get it together. So let me delete that real quick. Let me do the expenses copy. So that's what I wanted to do. So let me duplicate that. So September expenses, and move that over. Maybe I rename it to September spending like I do with everything else. So September spending, I will update that later. So let me just do this one right here. This page or this sheet for now. September, that's what I write, September, yeah. So let me go over here and write down a couple notes that I had written down, and I did put that I want to work on our savings this month. So college, our IRA, Christmas for sure, and vehicles. So I think I might need to get work done on my car. Also for maybe expenses, quotes on carpet cleaning. We've lived in our apartment for 8 years, has not been cleaned at all. So we're looking to just get our living room cleaned. Make sure we get our refunds from Hawaii trip. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have more of a to-do list once September is here. These are just kind of some notes that I've had in my brain that I wanted to get down. So going back to the yearly overview, our paycheck dates are September 3rd and September 17th. So I'm going to write that here. So September 3rd to the 16th. And then this one would be September 17th to, look at my calendar, 17th to the 30th. So as of right now, my husband's doing quite a bit of overtime, just a little bit here and there. He also had COVID pay last week. So my husband said he should be getting around $2,200. So that's what I'm going to put on here. So hubby's paycheck is going to be around $2,200. And I believe that, let me see, for August, the last paycheck budget, we shouldn't have anything too much left over. If anything, it should just be our cushion. So I'm just going to put $100 as our starting balance. But if we have more than that, then I'll make sure to adjust that. So that's what we have. And then usually when I do my budget planning prep, I have this area right here, the planned section. where I can take a look at how much we have left to kind of budget with each of these like categories. So I'm going to put all of our bills first that we have, and like I said earlier, it's not too much. I usually start off with our cushion that I like to have, and I'm just going to put the third, and I'm going to put 100 on there. And then I believe it's just, I should probably be looking at my column. Oh, we should be getting our child tax credit also. I think in one of my videos I mentioned the dates. I got to go back and like figure out what the date was. And I don't know if you guys heard, but there's also, if you're in California, I don't know if it's California specific, but there's a stimulus that's coming out soon in September if you filed your, if you've e-filed for taxes for 2020. I gotta look more into that and see if we qualify and stuff, but so 550 for here. So let's go back to the bills. So I believe it's just, so Chase, we put our laundry expense on there because we have a laundry app and that's what we use to put on there. So Chase, electricity, actually, I did get the bill, so I'm just gonna update it on here. It's like 8704. So I'm just gonna put 87 on there. And yeah, so I'm gonna put Chase, that's due by the 7th, and that one is just $50. Oh shoot, okay. And what else is next? So we have Barclay card. Our Barclay card, that's where our Disney Plus is at. And it's usually due on the 29th, but the Barclay card isn't due until the 13th. So that's what we're doing it based off of, is paying it by the credit card due date. And then our sponsorship, that's going to go in this budget as well. So, and that's going to be just on the 3rd. I usually send it that weekend, so it just goes through already. And then that one is usually around 122, depending on the price conversion or there are any changes to the Philippine pesos. So let's see. So I think that's pretty much it. And let me just check to see if I need to have money. No, I don't. Okay. Usually I like to look ahead the next two budgets too, because you see these negatives right here. It means that I need to make sure that we hold off on some of the money in the previous paycheck to cover for next month. So, so this one's negative 101. I just gotta make sure in this budget, I make sure to set aside that amount for this paycheck budget, or if I want to put more, so that depending on what other bills or expenses we have. So for the 17th, we should be fine. Now looking at our planned amount here, we have 2564 left to budget, 2,564. Okay, so let me go ahead and copy this. Stop right here. I'm not going to do any travel for next one, so I'm not going to need that. So my categories really don't change. So unless it's Christmas time or something else, or like travel as you saw, then I will add it on there. But these are basically our main variable day-to-day categories. And then for savings, I'm going to do the same thing and copy what I have here. I do want to have a heavy focus on the college savings and our Roth, and try to fund it as much as we can before the end of the year. We're not going to be focusing so much on travel anymore, as well as our house fund. We really want to grow our retirement accounts right now. That doesn't mean that we're not going to, put money in there or anything, but we do want to put more in our retirement accounts and our college fund. So no extra debt payments because we're debt free. Woo-hoo. Okay, so let me go ahead and start budgeting here. So food is usually $250. We've been bumping up to $300 lately. Transportation for sure is $100. We filled up our Scion or XB, and it was like $50. Now that school has started back up again, I am going to be using my car a lot more. So thankfully we do have a second car, but we are going to be most likely our transportation expense will be going a little bit higher, and gas is going up. So kids, I think I'm just gonna put 30. Sometimes there's like school expenses that we need to pay for that pops up that I remember happening. So I'm gonna make sure they have something in there just in case. And then for myself, I think I'm gonna give myself 50. Fun and events, September. I think there's a birthday happening So I'm going to put 50 on there. And then if you have to pick up medicine this month, or this Paychecks, I think I'll be okay with 40, and then miscellaneous I would say 50. So, well, even $700. It could change depending on what my husband gets paid. And then here we still have a leftover of 1864. And I want that all to go into savings because I don't need to hold any money to put into the next paycheck budget. So now we are going to just be dividing up into our savings. Let me just check our savings tracker and see which. So Christmas, I think we're going to go ahead and just maybe finish funding that. So for now, I'll put 200. I want to increase our vehicle as well because I have a feeling one of our cars may need some work soon. There's something strange sounding in my car. Can't figure out what it is, so we might need to just bring it in. Fun and events, we do need to put money in, kids as well, because I know my son wants to do basketball, so I want to make sure we just increase that, and then we're saving for birthday parties and stuff. So we'll slowly increase that, but I want to make sure we also fund our college fund for the boys. So Christmas, let's just say we do 200. I'm still going to run these numbers by my husband. I usually don't like to finalize it until I get his say in this. 529, I think we'll do 300, possibly 500 with the IRA. And I believe the kids vehicle, maybe 200. You know what? I think we need to add something in here. Pay back emergency fund. Let's make that on the 3rd, and we borrowed quite a bit. We borrowed from our emergency fund $2,000, $2,500, $2,375. So I think maybe we'll put back 500 in there. We're still debating if we're just gonna throw that into the IRA. But again, I'm gonna talk to my husband about it. And then fun and events, let's do 100. And then for the kids, what was it, 64? I think the vehicles, we could probably do 100. So this is just me crunching numbers. Again, I'm going to talk to my husband about it and stuff. So here I did zero it out, and that's what you always want. I don't like seeing my account zero out. That's why I put a cushion on here. So if you're on the same boat where you don't like to zero out your checking account or whatever you use, put a cushion in there somewhere, whatever you're comfortable with, and 100 works fine for us, just in case bills are a little bit higher than you expected as well. So what else with this budget prep? I also want to make sure I fill out this part and try to make my closeouts for the end of the month as easy as possible because I just want to plug in all of the numbers. So what I'm going to do is just copy all of this. Okay, so now that we're done with the first paycheck, I'm going to go ahead and just do the second one as well while we're here. And I'm going to go ahead and start out with the starting balance at 100, assuming that's what we have left over if we don't touch our cushion. And then for the paycheck, I'm going to do 2,200 again as well. And I don't believe we're going to be getting any other income or anything. So for this paycheck budget, let me look at our yearly overview really quick for the 17th. And it's all of these bills. No rent for this month, it looks like, which is weird because rent is actually being counted as part of August because that's just how it's working out for us. So let me put my cushion on there actually, which will be the 17th. So we'll put 100, and then I think I need to change this as well. So life insurance on the 18th, that was 118, that's my husband's. And then we also have Netflix on the 19th, which is $18. Nothing on the 20th, and then 21st is my life insurance, and that one's 92. The second, 23rd will be cell phone, and that one's on the 23rd. It's automatic, and it's around $235. And then just to make sure I'm good, okay. So interim, I usually put this if you use a credit card. I should have put that on the other side. So internet on Capital, that's my husband's Capital One, it's due by the 21st. That one is $80. Mercury, and then my mastermind. I don't have Audible anymore. I don't know why it's still on there. I should just put 0. There's Mercury. That was going to be on the 30th. And that one's usually around 120, like 122, 120. And then my mastermind that I'm in is on the 30th as well, and that's 197. And I think it's no one. I believe that's it. Yeah, we also have to start thinking about the dental bill. I need to put that in my notes. Hospital and dental expenses. I need to look into the insurance. That needs old expenses for it because it's really the exact same procedure that my 8-year-old did last year, and now my 4-year-old has to do the same too. Not as bad though as his older brother, so which is good. I'm just gonna take that and then change the font because I want it to all look the same. So I have 1340 to still budget out, and I'm just going to copy the budget that I have here, although I might change a couple things here and there depending on which one might need to be changed. So we still have 640 to budget out, and I don't know if you remember in the beginning, I believe I need to keep at least $100 in this one. And I think, thinking about the budget right Paycheck workbook, I might budget myself 100. I'm down to, I think, like my savings I did use up. So for myself, I have $30 in my savings right now. So I think I'm just going to budget a little higher for myself. I always feel bad when I do that, but just gonna put $100. There's a passion planner daily that I want also, because they did come out with the medium size, and I want to use that for planning. I gotta make sure I take $50 out somewhere, and I believe I'm gonna take $50 out from. It would have to be a savings. So let's just do 150 for Christmas, and that should zero out. Okay, so kind of thinking I might need to revise our Christmas budget because we're budgeted at 1,000. I'm feeling we're gonna go a little over this year, but we'll see. Try our best to stay at 1,000, but we went a little over last year, but not by much. So we're hoping to keep it at 1,000 this year. Not sure what family functions we're gonna be able to go to this year. So how much do I have? So 640. Let me just do the remaining 50 on here. Oh, we do need to make sure we keep that $100 in here for next budget. I'm just gonna put 150 to go to next budget. And then so now we have 440 left to budget or to put into our savings. Depending on the carpet cleaning, we might have to just take it out of one of these and put it in here if we decide to go with the carpet cleaning for this month. Let me go ahead and put into fun and events because my birthday is coming up in November. We usually don't do anything big. And what I do want to make sure we have money for is our kiddos' birthdays. One of us in January and then the one's in May. I just want to be prepped for that. So I think that's it. I still want to see what my husband has to say with the savings. This will most likely be changed a little bit, not too much. The bills, of course, will stay the same. What might change though on here will most likely be the savings and how much we put into certain ones. Once I get my husband's opinion on that. I hope you guys enjoyed this budget prep video and kind of taking a look at what I do before I set up, or when I do set up my next paycheck budget. It's always nice to look ahead of time, so that way when it comes time to your actual budget, you're not kind of scrambling and putting all the numbers all together and stuff. You kind of have everything in place that you need to put in place. Anyway, thanks so much for watching to the end. I hope you did enjoy this video and found it helpful, and I will talk to you in the next video. Have a good one, guys.